Hello, I'm Peter Mogezel, and I'm here with Professor Niels Høiby from the Department of Clinical Microbiology at the University of Copenhagen and the Copenhagen Cystic Fibrosis Center in Denmark. We're here at the European Cystic Fibrosis Society meeting in Hamburg. Welcome, Dr. Høiby.
Thank you.
I want to start by asking you about your thoughts on inhaled antibiotics and how to look at effectiveness of inhaled antibiotics.
I think inhaled antibiotics are very important for patients with chronic Pseudomonas aeruginosa lung infection, where we have to use them for suppressing the infection so that it does not spread from one area of the lung to another one. It's also important for early eradication therapy of intermittent colonization. So these are the two things. So I think that they are cornerstones of controlling infections in cystic fibrosis.
What do you think are valuable endpoints for assessing the efficacy of inhaled antibiotic therapy?
Well, from the patient's point of view, it's obviously the lung function and this quality of life scoring system they have, because if they don't feel better, they won't use additional time. Because there's a lot of additional time for therapy. From the scientific point of view, you have to have some objective parameters which also show that something is happening with the etiology of the infection. And that means you have to have some markers of infection, inflammation, for instance. You have to have, most importantly, some kind of measurement of the number of bacteria, because effect of inhalation has been proving in many publications to be that they reduce the number of bacteria. They don't get rid of the bacteria when you have a chronic infection, but they reduce it, and there's a correlation between the reduction of the number of bacteria and then the improvement of lung function and quality of life. So I think this is necessary.
And there's an interest in using inhaled antibiotics to treat resistant organisms. Do you think that that's valuable?
Yeah, because when we talk about resistant microorganisms, we are dealing with the reports from the clinical microbiology laboratory where they use what we call breakpoints. And these breakpoints are adjusted to the situation for systemic infection. And they are therefore defining resistant organisms at a level where you of what you can obtain of concentration of antibiotics in the blood. But using inhalation of antibiotics, nebulized antibiotics, you get much higher concentration. And that means that you can actually treat so-called resistant bacteria by inhalation therapy.
Traditionally, we have thought of Pseudomonas aeruginosa and Staph aureus as being the main pathogens in the CF lung. Do you think that our view of infection and cystic fibrosis is too narrow?
The only reason why we mostly use it for Pseudomonas is that it has been so well investigated and published. If you go to other bacteria like Burkholderia, like Acinetobacter, Pseudoxoxydans, and even like sometimes Stenotrophomonas maltophilia or medicine-resistant Staph aureus, if they are very difficult, we actually also use in nebulized antibiotics. But they have not been published, so this is off-label use, but they work.
How do you think that the new inhaled antibiotics that will be coming on the market will be used?
Well, first of all, we have the possibility to actually switch from one antibiotic to the other if really high-level resistance occurs. So we need new antibiotics. Secondly, there are indications by in vitro studies and also by animal studies a little bit from patients that you may combine inhalation of two different antibiotics, because we're dealing with biofilms. And the new thing is that we have found out that you have a biofilm on the top surface of the biofilm, bacteria are multiplying. In the center, they are dormant. Some antibiotics, like colistin, they are killing the dormant bacteria. They cannot kill the multiplying because they become very easily resistant. If you combine it with, say, ciprofloxacin, which only kills the surface, it seems as if we can get rid of them. Same with tobramycin and with colistin. So these are promising possibilities where you may actually combine two different inhalation therapy drugs and have better outcomes. So I hope that this kind of studies will be carried out.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today about inhaled antibiotics and your thoughts about the future of that therapy.
Thank you very much.